Good morning. That was a rough good morning, wasn't it? Try again. Good morning. How are you today? As you can see, we have Miss Pyaar back with us, looking all glossy and shiny in her pretty summer bandana from the groomer. And speaking of summer, beautiful day. More high, poofy clouds, not wispy today. A few back there over those mountains. And here we are. So gorgeous day. Absolutely gorgeous. Speaking of gorgeous, how are you, my gorgeous friends? I am happy to see you today. It is Friday. Yay for Friday. And what are your plans for the weekend? I am not quite sure about me. There are a couple things going on, not in town, that I'm interested in. A town called Wilcox. They're having a lavender fest. So I may go there on Saturday. And there's a grand opening to some new business on Saturday as well. So I may try and hit that. See what the new business is all about. Can't remember the name of it. Something table. Makes it sound like a restaurant, but then I wasn't quite sure if that was a restaurant or not. Oh, we've got some kind of... Hang on, guys. Me. You were loose. You were swiveling. Can't have you swiveling. All right. Come on, miss. So, and then Sunday my sister leaves town, so I'll be over there next week. You'll see me there. Oh, right here. Oh, too bad it doesn't have a smell vision. These flowers, it must be these flowers. Let's see, can we get them in the picture? What's the best way? There they are. Those flowers. Oh my gosh. I could just stand here all day and smell. Wow, they smell good. Sorry you can't experience that with me. Oh, so luscious. Wouldn't mind a perfume with that in it. I probably have one with that in it. Oh. So got a little derailed. Lavender Fest tomorrow, hopefully. Let's see, update on the swimming pool. They finished the tile, they finished the travertine coping, and the electrician was supposed to come out. However, his truck broke down and he was supposedly waiting on a part. I don't know. At this point, I don't believe much of what they tell me. But they use a bunch of subcontractors. It's not like it's the pool company's vehicle. But still, if you're that electrician, your work depends on this. I mean, you get a rental. Your income depends on this. We get a rental and we keep going. I don't know. This is just how my mind works. Obviously, the rest of the world does not work the way I do, which could be a good thing. We'd all be having closets full of purses, shoes, clothes. But we'd be very well organized. And we'd also have things taken care of. Shit would get done. Because that's just me. Got the oil changed in the car so we can get the shit done. They didn't have to change the brake fluid, so it was just oil. And I had a coupon for 25% off any service. And even though it expired, they took it. So yay me. That was nice. And yeah, that was that. But that was Tuesday. Tuesday was the car. Wednesday was the car. Wednesday was his injections. So Jeff, just a little follow up on him. He's been very dizzy. since the injections. Only dizzy when he like bends over too far. I challenge that as to whether it's the heat. He has never handled the heat well. And I question whether it's the heat with him. Because, and it doesn't take much. He'll want to get out of the house, so he'll go sit in the garage. And then sitting in the garage, my hair looks all flat. It was poofy, but I've been trying to use a hair oil. I might use too much. Now it looks kind of flat and stringy. Anyway, I'll figure it all out. So he'll go and sit out in the garage or maybe in the backyard. And you can tell when he's had too much heat. There's a truck coming. So we'll pause a moment. Whilst the truck moves on. So I wonder if it's just the heat that is really fussing with him. And you can tell when it doesn't take much, when he's been outside for too long or he's feeling overheated, because he looks like a little kid who's been outside playing for too long. You know, they get all sweaty and hair gets drippy, swingy, and stringy and all of that. He doesn't get drippy, stringy, but you know how red their face gets, right in the cheek area here? He gets like that. So, we'll see. I should take his blood pressure too. See how his blood pressure is. And then this morning, I was early. Me, running early. Obviously for a reason. Because I was putting moisturizer on my face. And I hear what sounded like a bang, not like a bang bang, but like something hitting the floor and busting open, and not quite marbles, but something going all over the floor. Like, okay. So walk out of the bedroom. I'm like, you okay? It's like, fuck. He had gone to pick up the container of dog food, which I had to bend over to do. And I think he probably tried to just grab it by the lip and the lid instead of the whole container. And the lid popped off and the container fell and all the dog food splattered all over. Dry dog food, thankfully, splattered all over. So we ended up, you know, he's obviously, I know he's having this dizzy issue when he bends. I'm like, I'll clean it up. And I walked out into the garage to get the broom, and I come back and he's all bent over trying to clean it up. This is the same man that when he's feeling perfectly fine, can't manage to get his ass off the couch and walk a paper plate to the garbage can, mind you. But now that he's not feeling well, when it comes to bending over, he's bent over trying to clean up the mess. After I told him twice, I'll clean it up. So he went to sit down. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am well. How are you today, sir? Good, good.
You have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. So anyway, I came back in with the broom and the dustpan. I said, I told you I would get it. What are you doing? I feel dizzy. I'm like, oh God, go sit down. I said twice I would pick it up. But like I said, this is the man that when he's perfectly healthy can't manage to do something so simple. Anyway, got that mess cleaned up. And of course that involved removing a little 3-tier shelf on wheels. That's kind of like the coffee bar. So I had to move that out and clean underneath that. And it wasn't just the dog food. Of course, there's dust under there. The little robot vac doesn't get under there. And I don't get under there all the time when I clean. So anyway, that one thing about picking up dog food kind of turned into cleaning that entire area. So that was that. Then I finished my skincare because I was in the process of moisturizing. So I went and finished my skincare. Got a little bit on a leash, and here we are. So that's the morning. Do have 2 classes today, 8:30 and 10, and then my 6:30 tonight. So, and doctor's office in between. Same old, very predictable. Really am. Let's see. Story time. I wasn't sure where I left off, so I went back, and I don't know if it was just my phone in the moment, but at the end of the video might not have had audio. So I think we left off where there were 3 spots they missed when cauterizing Jeff's paniculectomy, and he was basically bleeding out. So I went in and they got it all. And they did, but they kept him in the hospital a couple of days. This time they gave me a chair, so I wasn't sleeping on the floor. And yeah, that was Jeff's story. And we brought him home, and I, still working and taking care of him, all that good stuff. And it was a couple of weeks he'd been home and just kind of stuck in the house, and he gets cabin fever bad. So he's like, Rose, I gotta go out. I said, okay, no problem. So there was this little pizza buffet place he wanted to go for lunch. So we went out for lunch to this pizza buffet place. And he's able to, order and walk around and all that kind of thing. So we did that, and, got our foods and all of that. And we were just sitting there, and and it's not like we ate that much, so a buffet is just not, it really is. A buffet is good for us if we don't know what we want to eat. And we go into it full well knowing we are not getting our money's worth out of it, because we really don't eat that much. Side note there. But I started not feeling well. And I had to go to the restroom, so I told Jeff I'll be back, just wait here. And he did. And I got those extreme pains again. And I'm doubled over, everything. I try and compose myself, pull myself together. And I walk out of the bathroom, and I say to Jeff, I'm like, I've got to go. I am not doing well. There's sweat pouring down me and all of this. It's like, what's going on? I said, I don't know, that pain thing is again in my stomach. So we leave and get home, and I'm home just for a little bit, and it really got bad, and I'm like, I have to go to the hospital. And so put myself in my truck, put him in the truck, drove to the hospital, and then that is when I ended up having the NG tube and the surgery and all of that. So you backtrack, because I knew I put that out of order. So that was that. And once they got all that figured out, stomach-wise, it was smooth sailing. After that was done, let's see. So gastric bypass, I didn't have, so you can tell from the story, I didn't have any complications from the gastric bypass per se. Like the surgery went well, recovery went well. It was just a matter of whatever happened with those intestines getting knotted up. And then the big problem with the major pain was that gallstone that fell when they were removing the gallbladder. And that's just kind of bizarre. like a gallstone fell out and went into the bile duct, and it was causing all that problem. And I'm like, but how come it didn't show up? I've had all these tests and everything all the time. They're like, sometimes these things hide and the tests don't pick them up. And at least this time it finally did. So that was my gastric bypass story. And let's see. After that, well, we can just end with that. That was the update on the gastric bypass, putting it in order. Jeff had no problems with his gastric bypass. Neither one of us really have had any problems. And they tell you, like when you're in your class, right, doing your pre-surgical class and everything, they will tell you that if you eat something you shouldn't eat, you'll experience what's called a dumping syndrome, which can feel, they tell you all these different symptoms you may have. I only had a dumping syndrome once, and I can't even tell you what brought it on. We were out furniture shopping, and my friend Lauren was with me. It was me, Lauren, and Jeff. And I don't know what came over me, but I started sweating. My heart started racing. I don't recall having eaten anything, let alone anything I shouldn't have eaten. I'm not one to test things out. You tell me this is going to happen, I'm good. I'm going to take your word for it. There have been studies. Hold on, girl. Wait. Studies have been done. I don't need to test your theories. Okay, you've already had people test your theories. I'm going to listen. So that happened, and I just sat down. And I really thought maybe I should go to the hospital. But then I remember things I read, and I'm like, no, this is probably what it is. It just needs to pass. So I'm going to sit outside and finish our story time. And then I got to go teach. Let's see. So I had that happen. Can't see you at all. Hope I'm in frame. Maybe yes, maybe no. So that was my only experience with the dumping. Jeff will, to this day, and we are 10 plus years out of our gastric bypass surgery, to this day, if there is added sugar in something, he will know. The hairs on the back of his neck stand up and he breaks out into a sweat. Crazy. And then he'll start to feel a little nauseous. And sometimes he'll know like right away there's sugar in a red sauce if we go out for like Italian food. So I mean, and I don't have that problem. He and I can eat the exact same thing, and he will have that sensory thing, and I don't. So that's interesting. I did learn to bake using alternate sweeteners. I started with Splenda because back then Splenda was the new alternative sweetener, and I did okay with that for quite some time, but then it started messing with my stomach, and I got really bloated and gassy, and it was just, I was so uncomfortable. So anything that has Splenda in it, I stay away from now. I discovered monk fruit, and I will use monk fruit. I've heard about agave. I haven't tried the agave yet. And the monk fruit, I mean, does it alter the taste? It's not the same as sugar, of course not. And certain things, baking is a chemical, a bunch of chemical reactions. So these sugar substitutes don't always chemically react. You may not have the chewiness that maybe, like if you do a chocolate chip cookie, you may not have the chewiness that you would have from other cookies when you're using sugar. So those kinds of things. But I have adjusted. I have managed to figure out what works, and he told us that you have to stay under 5 grams of added sugar per meal. So I also will keep an eye on that. I would rather have a natural sugar as opposed to a sugar substitute, but then finding things that aren't sweetened with added sugars, it's crazy. If you ever start looking at labels, it's like everything has an added sugar in it. Bizarre. Really is. I can't see me. I hope I'm in frame. I don't know. So I do try and find things that have 5 grams or less sugar in it and try and stay away from the artificial sweeteners. But again, I mean, there's not that much out there. And girl's got to have her sweet. All right. So this is going to be it for me. I hope you guys have an amazing day and a fabulous weekend. And of course, I'll check in with you tomorrow, whatever it is I'm doing, wherever I'm at. We'll take you along and we'll do a little vlog from hopefully the Lavender Fest, because I didn't go last year. But this year, I do want to go. And if Judy's watching this video, she's probably going, oh, I'd fall asleep. I'd get out of the car and pass out on the ground right there. Lavender within 20 feet of her, she would know it. And she'd be, whew. I mean, it just affects her that greatly. It's crazy how it'll work for some of us. At any rate, I hope you guys have an amazing day and a great kickoff to your weekend. And if you're watching the World Cup, I hope your teams win. And I will see you very soon. Oh, and I want to give a quick shout out and congratulations to my friend Kathy. Her son did his dissertation yesterday, I believe it was, and he is now a doctor. So, Kathy, I know I told you via text, congratulations, but putting it out there into the universe and the internet, congratulations. You did a good job, Mom. And of course, to your son, hard work, excellent job. Congratulations. And I will see you all very soon. Have a great day.